Hey guys! Today we'll be covering a 2022 drama film called Better Nate Than Never. The movie opens up in Pittsburgh with a young 13-year-old boy named Nate Foster, freshening up to go to school. Unlike other days, this morning he wakes up quite early. Just then, he gets a call from his best friend Libby, who assures him that he is going to get the lead in the upcoming musical at their school, as he really deserves it. After that, Nate gets ready, has his breakfast, and is ready to go to school. Before leaving, his brother Anthony suggests he untuck his sweater, as it looks like he is trying too hard for the lead role in the play. Soon, Nate's school bus arrives and he gets on the bus, greeting the bus driver. Inside the bus, no one offers him a seat, except a beautiful girl. But when he is about to take a seat, a kid Jimmy bullies him and makes fun of him, calling him a girl. Jimmy also snatches Nate's lucky rabbit foot from his bag. In retaliation, Nate turns back and punches Jimmy hard, making his nose bleed. After that, Nate gets a message from Libby informing him about the musical's cast being posted. In the next scene, believing that he has been selected for the lead role in the musical, Nate approaches the school theater to check the list, but is disappointed after not finding his name. He simply congratulates the one who got the lead role and walks out. Later, Nate can be seen talking with Libby in a toilet about why he got rejected for the lead role. Seeing Nate dejected, she mentions an upcoming audition for the Broadway version of Lilo and Stitch. Libby further mentions that the audition is going to take place the next day, so they have very little time to get there. The only way is if they can board a bus this very evening. Nate is ecstatic, but at the same time is unsure if his parents are going to let him travel to New York all by himself. Fortunately, when Nate reaches home, he finds out that his parents are leaving for a weekend getaway. Taking the opportunity, Nate asks his parents to let him stay at Libby's house, and they agree. He then immediately collects his belongings and reaches Libby's house. There, the duo discuss their plan for the audition while posting regular photos on Instagram to make their parents believe that they are still at home. Shortly after, the two take a lift to the bus station and get on a bus that will take them to New York. In this way, the two kids set off for New York without informing their parents. Nate has always aspired to become a Broadway star, so while sleeping on the bus, he has a dream where he is a Broadway star and is performing gracefully. After some time, Libby wakes him up and shows him the view outside the window as they are about to reach New York City. Soon, they get off the bus and admire the beauty of New York. Unfortunately, it starts raining, and they have no umbrella or raincoat to cover themselves. However, after wandering around in the rain and getting wet, Nate and Libby manage to find the place where the audition for Lilo and Stitch is being held. As soon as they enter the audition room, they are surprised to see a lot of kids preparing. Following this, they are dismayed when the assistant casting director announces that no minor will be allowed to audition unless they are with a parent or guardian. Despite the notice, Nate and Libby proceed to register themselves for the audition. Sadly, a nosy parent has already informed the assistant casting director about them attending the audition solo. The assistant casting director is about to send them back until Nate's aunt, Heidi, arrives and recognizes them. Aunt Heidi, a struggling actress, happens to be there for an audition for a play called A Solitary Woman, stands in as Nate's guardian. In the next scene, Heidi can be seen talking with Nate and Libby, asking about his mother, Sherry, believing that she is there with them. Wasting no time, Nate reveals that he is there on his own, without his parents. Heidi is surprised by this, and as a responsible adult, she decides to inform her sister about her son auditioning in New York alone. However, Heidi doesn't have her sister's number, as they haven't spoken to each other for 10 years. She asks Nate for her number, but he cunningly provides Libby's number instead. When the call goes to voicemail, Heidi leaves a message for her sister, and Nate manages to convince her that he has his mother's permission. After a while, Nate goes to the audition, but becomes nervous after finding himself amongst so much other talent. When the director asks the participants to demonstrate any of their special skills, Nate tries to perform his Fiddler on the Roof knee dance, but unfortunately, tears his pants in the process and embarrasses himself. Following this, the director wraps up the audition by promising to call the deserving candidates. The scene then shifts to a bus station where Aunt Heidi is seeing Nate and Libby off to Pittsburgh. Nate believes that he has ruined the audition and has no chance of getting selected for the next phase. He prepares to return home with Libby and walks to board the bus after saying goodbye to Heidi, who has a job to attend at the National Museum. On his way, he sees a lucky rabbit foot and buys one for himself. Surprisingly, while Nate is inside the bus with Libby, he gets a voice message from the casting group, informing him that he has been selected for the next round of auditions. He gets excited and asks Libby to join him for the audition happening in 2 hours. However, Libby refuses, as she is afraid of her parents finding out about her traveling alone to New York. Here, she confesses her feelings for Nate and mentions she is with him because she loves spending time with him. Nate kindly turns down her feelings by telling her that he never thought of her in that way. Despite Libby trying her best to stop Nate, he leaves the bus and rushes for the audition. On the other hand, Anthony returns home from his trip and is surprised to not find Nate at home. He is further confused after he finds Nate posting a photo on Instagram with their dog, despite not being at home. Right then, he is distracted by a call from his friend who asked him to host a party at his house, and Anthony agrees. Elsewhere, Nate can be seen auditioning. He gives an impressive impromptu monologue and impresses all of the casting directors. As a result, he gets a final callback for the audition happening the next day at the New Amsterdam Theater. As soon as he gets selected, Nate tries to inform Libby about it, but unfortunately, his battery dies. He tries getting himself a charger from a nearby store, but doesn't have enough money for it. Having no place to spend the night and with having no money to spend, Nate roams around New York City and approaches a band that is playing music and vibes along with it. He starts singing to the music, and surprisingly, a middle-aged man gives him $1, mentioning that he really likes his voice. Following this, he puts on a performance with the band, with people giving him money and recording him on TikTok. After the performance, Nate returns to the store and purchases a phone charger. In the next scene, Nate charges his phone and calls Libby to inform her about his final callback for the audition. Libby is happy to hear this and suggests he go to the National Museum and find Aunt Heidi to spend the night with her. Hearing this, Nate tells Libby that he loves her and she always has his back. Unfortunately, the call is dropped in the middle of his sentence. Shortly after, Nate meets a stranger who provides him with directions to the museum. Finally, Nate reaches the museum. A security guard stops him, but he manages to sneak inside when the guard gets distracted by a phone call. Inside, he meets Aunt Heidi, who is angry at him for not returning home. Despite this, she brings him to her apartment to let him spend the night. At the apartment, Heidi reveals that she and her sister had a falling out in the past over their conflicting dreams. Despite this, she supports Nate's efforts and wishes him luck for the audition. Before Nate falls asleep, she hands him some birthday cards she had prepared for him in the past, and also provides him with some professional audition tips. Back at home, Anthony is hosting a party and enjoying his time with his girlfriend. One of his friends approaches him and shows them the viral TikTok video of Nate performing in New York City. Seeing this, Anthony immediately rushes to Libby's house to find out what's going on. Fortunately, Libby has just arrived home, and when Anthony confronts her, she tells him everything. The next morning, an angry Anthony and Libby arrive at Aunt Heidi's apartment, asking Nate to return back home. Nate tries to make Anthony understand that he has a very important callback audition to attend in the next 2 hours, but the latter is in no mood to listen to him. Following this, Nate admits that he embarrasses Anthony all the time and asks him to let him take part in the audition and fulfill his dreams. Later, as Heidi is telling Libby and Anthony about her profession, Nate escapes through the window, climbing down the emergency stairs, something he always wanted to do. In the next scene, Nate finally arrives at the New Amsterdam Theater, and just in time. While he is waiting in queue to enter the theater, other candidates make fun of him for his appearance. Meanwhile, Libby takes Anthony and Aunt Heidi to the previous audition place, providing Nate with enough time to prepare for his audition. There, Aunt Heidi is approached for the solitary woman role, and she stays for the audition, informing Anthony and Libby that she will join them later. Elsewhere, Nate gets on stage, and he is asked to perform the lines for the role of Stitch only. Nervous, Nate doesn't listen to the instructions and goes on to perform the entire script. Seeing this, the other auditioners start making fun of him. Then, the director suggests Nate sing a song written in the script. Elsewhere, while Heidi is waiting for her turn in the audition, a participant shows her Nate's viral TikTok video. She gets emotional seeing this and quits her audition to be with Nate and support him. In the next scene, Aunt Heidi joins Anthony and Libby, and the trio start watching Nate perform. Nate, on the other hand, feels so nervous and embarrassed that while singing the song, no one gets left behind. He fumbles and quits in the middle. Seeing his brother quitting the audition, Anthony yells at Nate, telling him that he does not embarrass him anymore. This inspires Nate, and he starts singing admirably, impressing the judges. After the performance, Nate makes amends with Anthony, who praises his audition and is really impressed by his singing ability. Nate then encourages Aunt Heidi to pursue her dreams and reconcile with Sherry. Before Nate leaves, Aunt Heidi provides him with a gift and asks him to tell his mother that she really misses her. In the meantime, Libby tells Nate that his parents are about to return home after spending the weekend away. Later, Nate can be seen wearing Aunt Heidi's gift cap and waving goodbye to her. In the last scene, Nate is inside his school's library talking with Libby over the phone. Right then, he gets called to the principal's office. Afraid, he hurries towards the office and is surprised to find his parents there. By this time, his parents have found out about his New York trip and congratulate him for getting selected for the lead role of Stitch. The movie ends with Nate performing in the musical, with his parents, Anthony, Aunt Heidi, and Libby in the audience cheering for him.